Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are checking in on a Plat Lucio. If you guys are enjoying this type of content, please drop a like, consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. If you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, all of that good stuff.
I am loving this.
Here we go. So, we have ourselves a Lucio. And we've got Bap right now, and Reinhardt. So, things don't get much better than that as Lucio.
Oh, yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Hold fast.
Practicing our wall running a bit. Okay, so
Defend objective A.
here's the thing. We're Lucio,
Defend objective
and we know
A.
how this works. We know how this works from the get-go. They're going to come through here. This is 25-21 SR game. You're going to heal AoE and throw. Okay. Got it. So, yeah, she's caps lock all the time. Not a big deal. So I know how these enemies are going to advance. So I want my crosshair here, and I want to be dragging it up. Like, that is what I want to be doing with these shots. Because I know how the enemies are going to walk through here, and I know as they walk through here, it's going to be a... They're going to walk up here and then go like this, or they're going to walk up here and go over here and wait for the team. So I want to be dragging my crosshair up and then angling either that way or that way. That's what just needs to happen here, and it's not right now. And that makes me sad, because our first shot should have basically been free ult charge. Instead, you're dragging down. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what those shots are about. Okay, we got a couple hits there. Hey, Adam. How's it going in Nerdsville? Okay. So, here you are. You're on heal aura here, which is correct, because this is just a poke face. You're not getting any meaningful shots, and I would be perfectly happy riding up on this pillar where I feel a little safer getting shots, or even riding up on this pillar where I feel a little safer getting shots, because you're not able to hit shots from here. Like, you've done this, and you're like, aha, I'm shooting like this. The targets are below you. There's cover. The targets are literally below you. You can't hit them. You can't hit the targets from this height there. You need to change your angle. Fortunately, you have a really cool tool to change your angle called roller skates, ice skates, sonic ice skates. I don't know. Roller skates that let you climb this a little and shoot down. And you might be like, no, but then I'll get eliminated. Nothing there can one-shot you. Nothing there can one-shot you. You're good. Don't get punched by Doomfists. Don't get flashbanged by Cassidy's. Don't get hacked by Sombras. There's really not that much you're worried about one-shotting you, and you just hop back and forth. Heal aura is right now. Let's get you a little more ult charge, though. Okay. This is a little bit not ideal, so you're going to amp, and this is a reasonable amp. You're amping to try to cover for the mistake that your team made. Your team took a little too much damage here, and we don't want to just get rolled by this, so we're popping our amp. Fine with me. I'd have probably put pressure on the Ashe over pressure on the lamp, but that's just me.
Music hits. You feel no pain.
Okay. And this is probably speed time. So here we are.
Oh, turn it up.
We pop this amp. I'd place pressure on the Ashe that your hand is blocking out. You're here. You've done what you were going to do with your healing amp. And now I want to get to Reinhardt. Reinhardt's in range of your healing aura right now, but Reinhardt is doing Reinhardt stuff, and Reinhardt stuff wants speed, and you'd also like speed right now. You're about to walk through a dangerous opening that you know opponents walk in here and are going to be looking this way, and if you're going to go across a dangerous opening, you want rotational help, and your Reinhardt also wants rotational help. So speed right now. That's not speed.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
That's not really quite led accurately with your shots.
When the music hits. You feel no pain.
Can't stand pillars, too difficult. Plus, I was allowed to play Ground Lucio. You are allowed to play Ground Lucio. You are allowed to play Ground Lucio to be able to hit shot, to be able to work on hitting your shots, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for now until you get a little better accuracy, which, you know, you're working on, you're developing. But even if you're playing Ground Lucio, if you can't hit if you don't have an angle on the opponents, you've got to try, right? But also, if you're going to do it, then scoot up here with your Reinhardt where you can shoot down at them. Don't play back here where, like, they're literally too short for you. Yes, your Lucio is a short hero and the opponents are too short for you. You need to scoot up here where you can shoot them, that sort of thing. And even if you're playing Ground Lucio, you're still going to use the walls to move like you are here. You should be on speed.
Nothing's gonna stop me.
You should definitely still be on speed. You have full health. You have full health. Your Reinhardt does not have full health, but per speed does a lot more to help him get out or to get to opponents than heals do. Heals are when you're in a poke phase. This isn't really a poke phase anymore. This is actually rotating or fighting. Great. Great. I love it. So are you going to knock Zarya in or hog out? Which is it going to be? Excuse me? What did you use your boop on?
When the music hits, you feel no pain.
Surely your boop is on cooldown. Surely your boop is on cooldown. Because if your boop wasn't on cooldown, you'd go down here on this wall, and you'd either boop hog out, or you'd boop Zarya in. One of those two things would happen. I'd like to boop Zarya in. That's what I'd like to have happen. Surely that's what I'm going to say. No, I don't want you leaving. You had a perfectly safe spot where you were.
I'm under attack.
Speed, good. And now swap to heals. I don't know that I'd have spent the amp there. So this is fine. Use speed to get to your team. And I totally see it. Like, I see, hey, people are missing health. I guess enough people are missing health. I actually didn't realize that you took damage here. Yeah, I can go for this amp.
Raising the volume.
You, D.Va, and Junk are all missing health in meaningful amounts. This is right. We're going to stay on heal aura for a moment. Now we have to stay on heal aura. Okay, and you're going to help keep the Zarya away from your Junkrat with a boop. Okay. That boop didn't help.
Step to this.
Yeah, that boop didn't help. That was a I'm out of ammo boop. This is you going, what do I do? And what you did is you interrupted your reload. And then had to do it again. We have a super chat coming in from Adam in Charge saying, hard stuck 1.9k subs plus 0-2 in contenders for legit RC. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think we're actually moving along okay at 1.9 here. What are we at right now? Let me take a look. We're at 1.951. Yeah, so 1950. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, we're moving along, but let's get back to our review here. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, Blah. We should get another 50 subs in the next 2 weeks. That would be a fantastic thing to do. If you guys want to be a part of that, since I started doing content again, it'll be the 1 year anniversary in 2 weeks, as Blah points out here. You guys should subscribe if you're not already. We did make Penn State look pretty foolish. They came out swinging on the first map and made the first point of the first map pretty close, and then it was downhill from them from there. I was happy to see it. It's nice for them to get the win at the season break there. They get to go out on a win. They get to win a tournament. They get to defend their championship there, which was good. Use 10 to 15% of your brain power to improve and be more entertaining so more people will sub to you. I mean, I could. That would be a good thing to do, yeah. We're going back here. This is kind of over. So you just use speed and dance around the point. You literally use speed and dance around the point. I don't need you to hit shots right now. I just want you to delay. Speed helps you survive more than healing does. So what you do is Lucio, and again, you sort of are right now at a point where you have to pick between hitting shots and wall riding, and I get that your wall riding isn't going to be great, and you're working on hitting shots, and that's totally fine. But what you generally do is you want to use speed when you're on walls, and you can swap to healing while you're in the air, because you're going to mostly conserve your momentum in the air that you had from speed while you were on the wall. You want to be fast on the wall. You want to pop off the wall. And then when you're switching walls, when you're jumping between walls, then you can get healing done, basically for free. And yes, even at 150 health, I'd have you on speed. You'll be more survivable.
Let's up the tempo. I hope nobody saw that.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
Okay.
Gonna make you feel better.
Healing ore here is fine. Speed, speed, speed. Good. Push back up. Push back up. Okay. So here we are. And I'm going to slow this down because we do have to watch your shot play. Okay. And how's your next burst look? Who are you aiming at? I don't totally know who you're aiming at with those shots. Those last ones were hog. Head height. You sort of just shot that like straight at Zarya, like Zarya wasn't gonna move. You shot here. I'll do full speed, and then I'll get to the Zarya again. So this is the first volley, which I'll just live with, though it's not at the right height. You do want to bring those up. And now we're going to have a Zarya volley. There's Zarya. You aim at Zarya's head, and then you shoot, and I can see Zarya's moving. So I have to adjust. I have to adjust mid-shot here to where Zarya's going. Is Zarya going left? I might drag a shot left. And then, okay, no, Zarya's going right, so I need to drag my weapon right. And now I need to do it again. Like, I need to aim, and I need to go, hey, where are they?
Move to the beat.
Okay, Zarya, are they going to go in or out? What's Zarya going to do? Zarya drops. No big deal. Fine, we'll find another shot. That's just you holding down the button. You weren't aiming at anything. Oh, can I boop Zarya back and keep them out of this fight? This Zarya dropped to low ground here. Got the Mega. Cool. I'm not going to be eliminating them anytime soon, but can I boop this Zarya to keep them out of the fight for longer? Because they've got to go all the way up here while I roller skate my way out. I bet you can.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
Okay. And now you're going to swap to speed, right? Speed. 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 We just dropped beat and we're not on speed aura? What? What?
Oh, man.
We just dropped beat and amp heals and we're not on speed aura. Excuse me while I go cry for the loss that is the contribution of this Lucio. Okay, so you hit your shots on the Ashe, who was standing still, which is good. She scoped in, she was standing still. We didn't speed the beat because we just sort of hung out where we were after applying the beat, and we got caught in a grab with a bunch of other people, which would have been harder if we'd been on speed and people had more time to spread out. But hey. Yikes. It's probably most of the point.
Time to change it up.
You guys really didn't trade enough back. Okay.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Let's hustle. Let's get you healed up. Oh, yeah! Get in here. That's a bit. Oh. Time to accelerate. Get back.
Cool.
Let's get patched up.
Okay. We're out here. I'm glad that that stabilized. I don't know that I want you up here anymore. Shots your shots. She's drifting right. Please drag right. See, you're firing your shots straight. You're firing your shots in a straight line. Like when you fire your shot, it's a single bullet. And it's not. When you fire it in bursts. You see this? We fire it and multiple shots go out here. So we need to drag where we think opponents are going. Like, Lucio's weapon is hard to use, and it's not just, oh, I've got a point and click. Lucio's weapon is much harder to use than, like, McCree's, but you're treating it like it's McCree's weapon. McCree's way easier to play than Lucio. Yeah, I said it. Lucio, you're going to have to, like, you've got to get your flick right to get your initial, hey, this is where they are. You've got to accept that it's a projectile, so you potentially have to flick past where they are to where they're actually going. And then you've got to continue to drag in the direction you think they're going. And sometimes you even change it mid-drag because you see after the second shot that you were wrong and you try to overcorrect in the other direction to catch up to them. And that is actually something you can do. So, like, I see a lot right now of it's like, yes, you've worked on your aim and you're hitting that first shot, you're putting your crosshair where the opponent is and firing it, but it looks like you're playing a hit scan, not a projectile right now. And definitely not a projectile that has burst fire that you need to drag your shots on. But yes, the Lucio gameplay does look better than last time. No, Lucio's weapon is awesome. Val says if he called himself Professor Temporal and had a whiteboard behind him, the branding would be better. So the branding would be better, but the problem is that's not actually how people get better at Overwatch, and I'm a little bit too much of a purist like that. You don't really want to teach Overwatch like, oh, here's a professor and we've got our chalkboard and let's have some chalk or markers or whatever down here and maybe an eraser, that sort of thing. You don't really want to do that because, like, the person who knows the most about Overwatch isn't necessarily the best Overwatch player, but that's important from a coachy perspective, from a student perspective, from a player perspective of, like, it's the same reason that you don't make your team VOD reviews 2 hours long, even though you could get into every bit of thing. Like, yes, I'll do that. I'm happy to do that. I've done 4-hour VOD reviews on this channel, but I do that more because, hey, it's interesting for people who, and maybe that's a reason that I should do it that way because it's interesting to people, but that's not how most people actually get better at Overwatch. They need more, they need a little bit more of like a, again, it's not like the person who knows the most theory is going to win the game. The person who's actually practiced the steps and actually is like, hey, I instinctively just drag my Lucio shots. Like, not instinctively, but like I automatically, because I've made that a habit to drag my Lucio shots, that person does better than the person who knows how to do that, who knows, well, I know Lucios are supposed to drag their shots. Okay, well, how much effort have you put into actually making that a habit that you go do? And it's the same thing with when you're teaching players. So, like, you teach them, you get them good at these things, you want them to be good at these things, and I may be too much of a purist of like the right way to coach, and that's why I resist going like, yes, professor direction with this sort of stuff. More market share, got it, yeah. But like if it was just all about market share, I could go, look at these, play the games, look at these, whatever type of thing. There's ways to do Overwatch videos that are much better in market share, but are obviously way too far on the purist thing. And am I too far on the purist thing? Yeah, probably. But hey. Sorry, Christmas scarf greater than Professor Whiteboard and branding. Guess my SR bloopers. There you go. Levy has the idea for, if that's what we're in.
How about a little extra?
Bronze roast. Oh, you're taking shots at flats now, I see.
Yeah, time to heal up.
Okay, so let's go back to here.
Yeah, let's move it, people. How about a little extra? Oh, hey.
Break this.
Yeah,
Pop
time
up
to
over
heal
here.
up.
You can pop up over here and just stand here and shoot at them. I'm fine. I don't need you to wall ride, but I need you to wall ride to get here to put some pressure on these guys. I also need to see a boop for the life of me. For the life of me, I need to see a boop. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
let's move it, people.
I'm seeing this is happening. I'm seeing where my team is threatening from. Using speed to get around. Fine with me. Cool.
Oh, hey.
Am I booping these guys back? Am I riding around and booping them further in? What am I doing?
Yeah, time to heal up. Let me show you.
This button exists and is on a very low cooldown. I don't just want you using it for more damage like you did against the Genji back on first point. I want you using it to move people around. Enemy team is pushing, boop one or two of them back. Enemy team is thinking about pushing, boop one or two of them forward so that they're disjointed and your team has more time to deal with these guys before these guys are at maximum contribution. Enemy team is pushing and you knock one or two of them to the side and there's a wall in the way so your team gets more time to deal with these guys. Enemies are chasing you, you boop them back. Enemies are chasing after your friends in this direction, you boop them back. You knock them out of line of sight of their healer because there's a wall here, and you keep them a little further away so they do less damage to you. There's a, like, this cooldown is not being used, and it hurts.
Let them up. Let's hustle.
Anna is both hit scan and projectile. That's true.
Ooh. This is gonna make you feel better.
Okay. Cool. And you're gonna boop him. Boop. Boop.
Push off.
That Genji got really close to you before you used boop. Your boop will work now. Your boop will work now, and that boop is going to be the moment you need, so you boop him right now to send him back, and then you use that time to get yourself out here. You don't just boop to delay the inevitable. We're booping right now. If he gets booped back, now he's right on top of you, and now your boop doesn't really send him very far, and we needed to use the time that he was booped, preferably not up, preferably back, to get out back out to point so that he doesn't just continue walking on us after the boop is over and take us out.
Push you. Speed boot. Back in the mix.
Boring and dense university lecture is best form of presenting information. With ADHD, you can't watch easy to consume, super entertaining content, don't have attention and ability to focus on videos loaded with effects, jokes, and other entertaining additions. Interesting. Interesting.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Oh, let's break it.
You're hitting that. That's fine. You amped heals for yourself, and then you realize you need to beat, which I'm fine with. And now you're going to stay on heals you're also going to boot back the Genji, right? Good. Now boop and then shoot again. Good. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Fine. You also find these videos a lot easier at times, as well as someone with potential ADHD. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Healing back here. Again, you're going to need your boop to get out. That there's not a boop there is weird to me, because I want to break the aggression. I don't want these guys pushing yet, because I know we just lost someone. I know we're behind on cooldowns. Because I know we're behind on cooldowns and health, I want to delay their push a bit with my boop. And my boop also gives me a little bit of space, potentially messes up their aim while I get out of the spot that I'm in. Yeah.
Just in time.
This button exists.
Time to change it up. Yeah, time to heal up.
Some? I think you mean most there, Val. Let's be honest, the meta on YouTube is here's a 12-minute video to answer one question, make one point, and we'll talk about some other things that are sort of loosely related, but mostly it's 12 minutes to get one useful bit of information.
Let's move it, people.
But hey, it works. I can't knock it too hard.
Yeah, let's move it, people.
Sure. Use your walls. Yeah, that's right.
Healing beat.
Walls are nice. Saves you. You want heals. Okay. And I want to knock people off the bridge. I literally look at this and go, what can I do to give us a chance? And at the moment to give us a chance, I wall right here, hop over here, and I knock Zarya. It's not perfect. I'd prefer to knock people off in this direction because it takes them longer. But it's not perfect, but I'm going to knock either Zarya or these guys when they come in off the bridge down in this direction, so they have to rotate and are out of the fight for a little bit longer. Because we're losing this fight, and you got to do something. Boop! Boop! Send map down. Okay, it's a boop. It's not quite the boop I wanted, but it's a boop. We're not going to challenge the Cassidy. He's the one person who we don't really want to challenge at close range. Yeah. The intention was there. It's true. Okay, so some of your beats make my soul sad. The grab one was fine, though you probably then wanted to move a little more than you did, but your other beats, like, beat, speed, beat, speed, beat, speed, basically automatic, needs to happen. I need you to actually lead your shots. I need you to drag your shots. Like, I see you've gotten more accurate with your initial crosshair placement, with your flicks onto them. That is good. That is important. That is a necessary piece of aiming. But Lucio aiming is very complicated. You need to get the flicks right, you need to get the prediction right, and you need to get the further prediction right to drag the shot. And you need to get the drag distance right based on the distance you are from the opponent. Because, again, it's a burst fire, it's a projectile, that sort of thing. So that's hard. I see the improvement there, but I still need you to do more in terms of dragging those shots in the ways that people are going. Looking at them and even adjusting your shot mid-burst fire. But even before the adjusting mid-burst fire, just getting used to some of your patterns. So, like, at the top of this hill, you drag up. As you're fighting them here and you see which way you're drifting, you fire and drag in the direction that they're drifting as they're doing their AD strafing, that sort of thing. Bronze damage at end of match. Nice! Nice! Okay. And then you're like
Let's
the
get
real,
patched
but
up.
the big thing like that is just screaming at me is your boop usage and basically the lack of it.
3, 2,
Boop is a great tool. We gotta use it, and it's on a very short cooldown. Back to speed.
Move to the beat.
Okay. Oh boy. There you go. Stay speed. Yep. Boops help him get out.
Ice.
Okay, he's using breather, which means he wants the hog away from him. We don't want the hog in a place where the hog can left click him. We want this hog away from him, where the hog has to use right clicks or really get caught in the dead zone between right and left click range. So we hit a boop. You can do one more step forward, but we hit a boop to keep this hog away. Where's our boop? Where's our boop? Like, that's got to be second nature to you. Like, hey, there's a character that likes close range on top of my friend. My friend isn't winning the fight with them. Let me peel for them. Let me send them away. Go away.
I see.
Okay,
Healing
this
boost.
is over. Sure.
Oh. Time to accelerate.
Okay. You're done. So, what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Good, into the boop.
Hold up. This.
Usually there'd be a melee mixed in there, but okay. No, but you guys were done here.
Speed boost. Heal up. Pump up the
Sure,
volume.
you can do that. He's stuck here, so there you go.
Yeah, pick it up.
Go walk into the healing pack then, Reinhardt. Speed. Go drive off, Hanzo. That's all. So, like, you see this happen, and your immediate reaction should be, I'm helping Reinhardt. Oh, shoot, I see Hanzo. Let me hop on this wall just to get the boost of speed, and let me just boop him off. Can he immediately reclimb? Of course he can immediately reclimb. But he is going to be trying to shoot at your friends right now. You sent him down. You should just have an automatic reaction. Even if this was a caster, you can flash you. You just have an immediate reaction of, let me pop on this wall and try to knock him down. And keep him out of the fight just for another second. Instead, you lose Anna.
Healing boost.
Which of us received some forbidden secret tech that only pros are allowed to know from Temporal for Christmas? Ah. I mean, it wouldn't be stuff that only pros could know if you guys then knew it, would it? Like, we'd sort of have a... That changes what it is. Can it be forbidden knowledge that only pros can know while pros don't know it?
Push on.
Okay, there's a boop. But that's you just booping for damage. That's not really you booping to protect your teammates, to stop him from doing work. Maybe everyone just has really good ult timing, Dynamic Split. Okay, we're done. Like, we're beyond done.
Right on target.
Are we really still trying to hold this? Okay. And again, your immediate reaction to your friend getting hooked wanted to be, oh, my friend got hooked. I'm on this wall riding forward to try to get close, so I can immediately hit a boop to help him get out, in case they survive it because Hog doesn't line his shot up well. Because Hog doesn't have the spread pattern down. Like, we're looking for ways to help. Okay.
Audio medic. Ooh, behind you. This is gonna make you feel better.
Depends how we're defining pro there, Magdalena. I mean, I'm a professional coach, and if we were using, you know, Overwatch pros in the sense of people in the professional space, I fit. But yes, if you were going strictly pro players, that's true.
The dragon becomes me.
Oh, let's break it. Damn! Nice.
Okay, so we're pushing in here. You're doing this. You're on speed. This is
Oh,
correct.
let's break it. Damn!
I don't think so. If you want to protect your Reinhardt here, I am all for it. I am all for protecting your Reinhardt here. You know how I'm going to protect your Reinhardt?
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
I'm going to boot pog past. I'm not going to beat to protect my Reinhardt. I'm going to boot pog further past. That sort of thing. Or I'm going to scoot myself over here and boot pog away. I'm also going to be annoyed that my Reinhardt doesn't have the mega, but so be it. I don't really have much desire to beat to protect my Reinhardt right now.
Yeah, time to heal up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keep out of my way.
This was a fight that we'd probably won even if we lose our Reinhardt there, and beat's a really big investment, but okay. It's not for sure that we win that if we lose Reinhardt, so I'll live, but again, I'd have liked to use my previous tool of Boop first to help my Reinhardt live. Yeah, it's close enough that the beat is right if the Boop isn't enough, but I'd have really liked to use the Boop first and see how much more damage you and D.Va could have done to that hog before needing to beat.
Taking the objective. Join me in glory.
You can amp. You can amp. You should amp. Good. Go up there and heal Hanzo. Fine.
Objective A.
Speed.
Oh, time to
New
accelerate.
defense
Nothing's gonna
Objective
stop. Feel the healing beat.
Okay.
Use some help.
Cool. And now back to heals. And now go challenge with D.Va. Great. This is fine. This is just you needing wall riding practice. But this is reasonable, what you do here. We see this. We'd like to go challenge that with D.Va. Totally fine. We use our speed aura, hop up on this, hop up on this. Speed is also offered to Ryan while we're doing this. We've helped take this out. This is a pretty common play for Divas and Lucios to dive together to take out Baps, Zens, things like that. Even in your comp, that's not a very divey comp, though you guys do have a Genji, you two breaking off as a dive pair, pretty common. Or a dive triplet in this situation.
Yeah, let's pick it up.
Now we see that, we look at that, and we don't really want to challenge him head on. Like, yes, I've told you it's okay to, for now, be a somewhat ground Lucio, to be somewhat stable with your aim. And that's fine, I don't mind you working on that. But, like, we can't fight Cassidy. We can't fight Cassidy like that because we're almost certainly going to lose, right? Like, he has better aim, we have better avoidance. If we try to both just take an aim war without us mixing in avoidance, he wins that. So we've got to be a little careful there, but that's okay. You generally go for an amp here because you're in too dangerous a situation not to save your life with speed or to heal yourself. You don't, no big deal. Press Q. Pressing Q doesn't work.
Double time.
So Blah's pro secrets are the more you spend, the higher SR you will get. That's what Blah says. And the other secret pro tip is click the subscribe and like button on this YouTube video. Most people gain 10 SR from that alone. I see, Blah. I see.
Ooh. This is gonna make you feel better. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move it,
Helping them out. Okay, you put Zarya back with his team. That's actually good. You took away their angles by doing so. It was a minor angle, but it was an angle. That's one of the uses of move. Leave, leave. Oh boy. You're right to be on speed. So wait, hold on. This is happening. Your team is making a play with this. Your team is making a play of some sort because they've popped Nano. I want to go do something. And doing something probably means using Amp. Doing something probably means using Amp because it's sort of your offensive cooldown. Now, it's a little bit weird because you'd like to use Amp when you have a Reinhardt here when you're using speed, but Kind of like you to go dive with Amp here, or to leave. Those are both options. I don't want you to dive without Amp, which seems to be the choice that you've made. Oh, cool. We gonna Amp? No.
Deine Hex.
You can't do things. I mean, it's hard to do things on Lucio. It's really hard to do things on Lucio because you've got to mix his weapon play, and his wall riding. And until you have both of those, it's hard to go do things. But you can do wall riding plus a boop. That's a thing. That's a thing that you can do even right now. Yeah, I'm not saying grade A wall rating, 10 out of 10 wall rating, but 6 out of 10 wall riding with a boop, that'll get some jobs done.
This is gonna make you feel better.
Get off the ground. Get off the ground. Doomfist. Ooh, Doomfist is scary.
Oh. Time to accelerate.
Leave. No, okay. Good. That's what we like. So you went in a little bit aggressive so that you could get the boop to send Zarya out into your team alone. That is great. I just wish you hadn't left the wall quite so hard to do it because I don't want you to get punished. Okay.
Oh, turn it up.
Good. Amp heal, fine. Plenty of people are weak enough to justify it.
Move to the beat.
This isn't anywhere near the worst Lucio. No, definitely not. Okay, stick to the wall, stick to the wall. Good.
Check this out.
And now let's get some healing done. Oh! We found a BAP! We knocked the BAP down to our team. We found that boot button. Okay. We'll do.
Meteor strike.
According to Twitch, Mercy players, doing squats will make you win more games. I mean, there's something to that. Interacting with the physical world, doing... I recommend people take walks, do push-ups, whatever, between games. Yeah. I make teams break in the middle of scrims for mental resets, and I tell them to get up from their computers and do stuff. So doing squats, that's one way to interact with the physical world that keeps them a little more grounded for some of that stuff. I could see it.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
I guess it works. It protects your team. So you don't just lose to the window. Your team is here to fight. I'm not convinced that your team is going to understand what they need to do with it. I know that your Sigma and Anna are pretty far back, and I knew that, which is why I zoomed out in the first place, because this is a little bit of a weird beat. But this is doable. You, Genji, and Reinhardt can get aggressive off of this. You're definitely trading a pretty darn good ult for Window here. Beat is better than Window by a lot, so you need to get value with this. Amp speed. No, amp speed. Yes, speed, good. Okay, good. And that's exactly how you want that to work. You go, hey, I'm trading this, and I'm trading this because it both breaks Doomfist's aggression onto my backline, and it enables your front line to push through the window and take them out when they were expecting to not have a brawl phase, instead cheat with their poke phase. So that's good. Great. Round-winning beat right there. We'll take it.
Ready for battle.
Loving this.
I know. I grow tired of waiting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Sure.
Yeah, time to heal up.
60 seconds remaining.
Sure. That is not an appropriate spread. The targets are coming this way, so your spread would be like this. Or we're dragging our weapon this way. Because the target, if anything, is going to come like this. And it would actually be tighter, more like that and that, but I want to do a little spacing to make it obvious. Because the target is going to come this way and forward, or this way and then go over there. So, like, a spread would be a drag this way, not a drag this way. That's how we spam chokes, as Lucio. And again, you didn't really drag that time either. That time you just went, like, all 4 shots straight. It wasn't really a calculated throw. Like, it was a reasonable beat. I looked at it because I was pretty sure your backline was pretty far back, but you probably heard the Doomfist and went, this is going to help them against the Doomfist that's going in at the same time. I'm going to give you credit for that anyway. Are we trying to take fair out of the air? Okay. Sure. Good. There's our boop. Kind of a poke phase. Sure. Speed. Good. You can't make me just walk across this bridge like this without speed. Like, yes, I want to heal Genji too, but I'm walking across a bridge with no wall options and no cover. I'm using speed.
30 seconds remaining.
Boop. Immediately. Immediately. Forget the damage. I want the boop. You're in way too much danger. Yep. Yeah. Obviously, you can dodge that arrow with better wall riding. You start getting a little better at understanding how enemies are aiming, how they want to aim at you, and your wall riding becomes a little less predictable, but that's fine.
Overtime.
The enemy approaches.
30 seconds remaining. New defense point. Objective B.
Healing boost. Raising the volume. Some hand here. Check this out. Move to the beat.
Speed. Sure. You go
30
right.
seconds
You again want to hit the bridge cross. You want the cross boop here on the bridge. Are we going to find a way out here to hit it? Or are we going to send them back? I don't want to fight the Zarya. Nope. Nope. Can't make me. Can't make me.
Let's get patched up.
I see a BAP over there. I bet I could dive BAP. Bet I could dive BAP. I bet that would be good for my team. I'm not offering my team aura anyway right now. I'm not stalling point yet. Sigma's doing that, so let's go after BAP. Sure. Okay. Get yourself beat. Good.
Healing beat.
Wow. She's alive after that. That's amazing. You just need to force speed as quick as you can. That's what I was worried about. Beat, beat, beat.
Let's break it. Damn.
Yeah, it took too long to get your beat. Again, especially when you're on full health, you want to have some speed aura there. If you had full health for much of that time you were dodging, speed aura makes you dodge longer with full health.
What is that melody?
Speed, speed? Really? During our flux, we don't have speed going? Mercy's probably not the one I want that for. I'm trying to interrupt a res, maybe, but...
This will help. Name.
Yeah, let's move it, people.
Double kill.
Oh, this is my jam.
Okay.
Healing boost.
You guys have won this fight. You just need to finish it off. Okay.
I am on fire. Oh, let's break it. Damn.
Okay. Speed. Speed. Speed.
Round
Freeze! Don't move!
Okay.
score
I don't think
to 3.
Magdalena got 2 CP'd here, Levy. I think the opponents kind of got 2 CP'd. They won that fight, but then Respawns
Initiating
eventually
match.
turned it against them. Or are you saying, hey, they, in no time almost had 2 points capped against them?
Ready for
That
battle.
version of 2 CP'd? Eh.
Attackers
I think
incoming in 30
Anubis is
seconds.
like my minimum acceptable level for a map, to be perfectly honest. Volsky I actually kind of like, and Anubis is my like, I accept this as an Overwatch map. And every map worse than Anubis, I mostly go, nah.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
But yeah, 2CB is not popular among people, I get it. You like Anubis? Okay.
I am loving this.
60 seconds.
Gonna make you feel better.
I mean, it has its pleasant aspects. There's cool things you can do with some of it. It has this aspect where, like, bunkers are pretty good for first point defense, but bunkers aren't so great for second point defense. So, like, are you going to gamble on the all-in on first point and then accept that you lose second? But that just doesn't really feel good type thing.
could use
I have
that.
one. I have a Overwatch map tier list. I have a Overwatch map tier list Banana Split on the channel. Did that maybe a month ago.
Time.
Damage.
F it up. Let's hustle. Yeah, time to heal up.
Okay. So here you are. You don't have amp.
Hustle. Yeah, time
You're
to
just
heal
helping
up.
your Reinhardt as best you can. You now correctly realize that you've got to go up there and deal with them, but your Reinhardt's already down. So can we just back out and reset, please? Please? I don't think you want to go deeper. I think we want to reset. Your team's not interested in resetting. Okay.
Not right.
Not speed.
Yeah,
Or
let's
not
pick it up.
healing. Speed is your friend. Yeah, you're just stuck in here.
30 seconds remaining.
This was my I don't want you to go deeper situation. Hey MF, how you doing? 2CB suffers from being the least fun in ranked, whereas Koth is terrible in a competitive environment, but in ranked it's everyone's favorite. I'd kind of agree with that, yeah. I'd say the two maps that have the most swinginess factors to them in some ways are actually 2CP and Koth. And yeah, you have the situation where ranked loves Koth, but 2CP is mostly fine in organized play. You can still get 2CP in organized play, but you sort of earned it. The concept of 2CP isn't terrible, but yeah, I think that's true. We'll see.
Check this out.
No, no, no. Okay. You had to go. I get it. It's fine. Okay, so the things for you to work on are really going to be threefold. There's 3 places I want you going. The first place I want you going is you're already working on your aim mechanics, and I want you to continue to do that. So you're working on your aim mechanics. I want you to continue to do that, but I really want you to drag shots. Like, I can see that you've got more accurate on your flicks, more accurate at aiming at where someone is, at where their head is. I can see that improvement, and I like it, but I need you to drag your shots in the direction that you expect them to be going. And I don't know if you haven't wrapped your head around this skill yet or what. Totally fine that you haven't, but it's something that you need to go, okay. And you can start at chokes. You can literally just start at chokes and evolve it from there and go, hey, this is a choke. The enemies are going to be walking through this choke. I know that at the beginning of the match, so let me drag my crosshair a little bit up. Let me try and get the timing, and I'll drag up, because that way I can hit pew, 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 and I can hit them, or pew, 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 with the shots as they're coming up. Or, oh, I know there's enemies over here. Let me drag my crosshair out a little, and then forward. So let me drag my crosshair. So it's sort of like that's how they're going to walk, so I can't really draw in 3 dimensions here, but let me drag my crosshair a little bit like this, and then sort of just hold it steady from there, because I know that they're going to round like this and walk like this, and I can't drag depth like that unless there's vertical height to it. So like in this case there's a little bit, so I'd actually do a little bit of a drag from the vertical height here, but that's sort of how you look at that. So like start with your choke spamming, and once you get an understanding of how to properly choke spam and it feels good because you've dragged shots and hit chokes a few times as someone who's walking through a choke, I think you're going to realize you can do that same thing. It's harder, but you can do that same thing while actively fighting people who are in the open. You can see that, hey, this Anna is walking left as she's shooting at someone, and you can shoot, hitting your first shot here, your second shot here, your third shot here, your fourth shot here as she moved left. Or maybe you're wrong and the fourth shot doesn't hit because she starts going into a strafe pattern from there, whatever. But like that's more what I want you to be able to do. That's sort of the next step of Lucio weapon play mechanics for you. So again, easiest way to get there is to go, let's spam chokes correctly. Let's drag our shots in the correct direction for how people are going to walk through chokes when we're in that poke phase and people aren't there. And I think once you do that enough times, it's going to click and you're going to be like, oh, and I can do this in other fights too, a little more in the open too as I'm moving people around. Once you get used to how far people move from getting your chokes right, you should be able to get normal combat a little bit more right there. The next thing that we're going to walk into on your that we're going to get into on your Lucio is your boot button exists. You like completely forgot about it for the first round, used it some in the second round, but boops have to happen. Like it's an incredibly short cooldown. You're looking to create peel with it. And you can create peel obviously by knocking a close range hero away from like your partner support. That's a thing that you can do. But you can also go, let me knock people off bridges. Let me knock people off high ground. Let me, as the opponents are pushing, bring one of their tanks in faster. Bring the other tank in slower by pushing them back. Push out their back line as their front line is advancing so that their back line is late. Push someone in their front lane to the side so that they get disjointed and don't get to go in. Like you do want to use your boops. You don't want to just be like, I'm booping on cooldown for no reason and I'm constantly using boop, because you'll boot back frontliners when your frontline wanted to fight them. But if you think about your boops, I want you thinking about boops and then looking for boop opportunities. And I just listed a bunch of different types of boops that you can do, including booping out the other Lucio, but a bunch of different types of boops you can do. You should be getting like 3 times as many boops as you're getting done. Like easily 3 times as many boops as you're getting done, and they will get value. Again, you're not just constantly booping for damage. You're not just booping, oh, someone's near me, so I'm going to boop them. You're booping with some degree of purpose of, I'm breaking up the speed of your attack a little bit. I'm sending someone off high ground. I'm pushing the Hanzo, the soldier, whatever, off this high ground so that they have to retake it so that they don't have a sight line on me. Much the same way a diva would go answer someone like that. You can do that thing, though you're a less good answer, but you can do it. But you can also break up the engaged speed of a team's front line, which is really, really good. You can see that, oh, my hog got hooked and is now trying to run away. Let me knock back the other hog that is trying to chase him to help him get out. Like you want to actively look to go find ways to use the boops, and your wall rides will get you there. I'm not actually going to have you working on wall riding yet. Yes, you obviously need to work on wall riding. You need to get better. You need to not be a Grand Lucio at some point, but I want you to get this weapon play better first, and I can see the weapon play improvement, but I still need to see your shots dragged appropriately. Like the aim is better, but I still need for that first shot, And for when people don't move, that works out great for you. But I need this better predictive drag of where they're going. That's what you're going to use. You're not going to be able to help but getting better at wall riding and some of this stuff when you go to wall ride over to go get some of these boops that I do need you to go get. But you don't need to be on the walls for your constant shot spam right now because again, we're trying to get your shot stable before we add really what is a third dimension to your shot placement there, which does make it quite a bit harder. And then the third thing is you're still hurting my soul a little bit with these beats with heal aura. Like, come on, you use your beat. I promise, even if you only have 100 health under your beat health, it's okay. You can use speed. Your team, even if they're low health, most of the time they're going to want speed. If they're in a grab, if they're in a flux, sure, they can have heals. But when you use beat, you're going to want speed. When your teammate uses flux, you're going to want speed. When your teammate uses shatter, you're going to want speed. Little bit more of that. Much improved since last time. Well, moderately improved since last time, but that still needs to be more, especially with your own beats. I know you were low health, so you're like scared, but like, no, it's fine. You have an extra hundreds of health there. You can use speed and you can spend that health. Hope those make sense. If they don't, definitely let me know, Magdalena. If other people have questions, you can throw them up in chat as well. If people are enjoying the content, please do drop a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. See what rates look like, see what sort of promos, special events we have going on, things like internal server scrims, or, other types of content that we cover. We, of course, cover we do Overwatch coaching here, but we also talk about other things. Sometimes we get into economics, sometimes we get into video game news. We cover a lot of collegiate Overwatch stuff, and there were some exciting things over the weekend in collegiate Overwatch, including the Redbirds losing, which how did that happen? Well, you'll have to tune in hopefully later today for the story on that, as well as the breakdown of what happened. Possible I won't get to upload that until tomorrow, but probably later tonight. But yeah. You doing well studying at the library for your real analysis class? Okay. Feedback on your final paper from your TA. Is your TA going to be the one grading it? Or not? I always found TAs so rough because TAs was the sort of thing where it's like sometimes they know what the professor wants, other times they don't. Other times, like if the TA is the one grading it, feedback from the TA is useful, but TAs go so far outside of their lane. I remember it was so weird. We had mandatory upper division classes outside of our major. So it was mandatory that we took 3 upper division classes outside of our major, which to me is completely wrong because you shouldn't be really qualified for upper division classes outside of your major, whatever. But I remember I took a theater class and I had a theater TA trying to trying to correct one of my papers based on English usage, and it's like, I don't respect your ability to edit something for proper grammar, that sort of thing, when you are a drama TA. There's things that you could do. You're a drama grad student. Like, that's not helpful for, that doesn't issue me any confidence that you could do this. And sure enough, they didn't actually know what they're doing. Anyway, tangent, doesn't matter. I was a better writer than them. We both knew it, but doesn't matter. Okay. Needs more wall ride. Yeah, Thanos, more wall ride would definitely help this Lucio, but I really want them to get the weapon play first. Lucio is one of those heroes where I find it works a lot better for people if you get them when they're fresh to work on their weapon play then their wall riding, as opposed to their wall riding then their weapon play. You really need some pretty solid weapon play before you can get them to be totally effective on Lucio, and you can get moderately effective with just wall riding, but you'll be super slow on your beats, you won't be able to challenge people the way that you want, and it's much harder to feel any level of success with your weapon play if you've leveled up your wall riding without your weapon play, because it's hard to do that for most players, to go, okay, now be successful with that, and if they don't get any positive feedback on their weapon play, they just feel like his weapon doesn't do any damage, which definitely isn't true. Great improvement? No, there's improvement here. There's improvement here for sure. Your weapon play is better, but you still need to really understand this this choke spamming stuff better. So like there's improvement here, but it's not like, oh my god, you've doubled your skill at Lucio or anything like that. Definitely not in that range, but we've definitely also seen improvement since last time. And yes, you're getting more damage done, but now we need to A, get our predictive stuff a little bit better, get that choke spamming done, and B, we still need to do more in terms of using that boop to get anything done. Or, you should have, like I said, 3 times as many boops as you do. Collegiate power ranking soon? Soon TM? Probably, yeah, yeah. The TA grades the paper. Great. Then the TA's feedback on what the TA wants is fantastic. Your thesis supervisor responded that thesis is great, but I need to include more literature, at least 4 articles. A thesis, at least 4 more articles, or at least 4 articles total. Uh, I would expect a thesis to have at least 4 articles. Yeah, I would expect more than that, but that's okay. Should I play Lucio with Mercy at that point? I mean, everyone will tell you no. I want to tell you no. If you're really trying to one-trick Lucio to get better at them, I don't mind that. I'm not opposed to one-tricking something to get better at it. I think that is the way. But if that's the case, you're probably going to have to get really good at getting offensive contribution as Lucio. Like to climb in games where you are Lucio Mercy, you are basically as Lucio going to have to go pretty hard Reddit and outduel the other team's DPS, the other team's flankers, not in your own backline, but like you're going to have to go get eliminations pretty frequently as Lucio. You're going to have to be, meaningful at removing threats from the board as Lucio, because you're not going to have enough sustain between Lucio and Mercy to get work done. So you need to lead into both of your kits' offensive power. You need to quickly win fights. And to quickly win fights, you have speed boost and she has blue beam, and that's great. But you're also going to really need to hit a lot of those shots and get a lot of value, because your speed boost on ladder rather than in organized play, a lot of it is for you in enabling your own dive power potential. And if you have that 3 seconds of amp speed, you can dive things pretty hard. You can sort of think of it like a Genji dash, that sort of thing, where obviously you don't get a reset and it doesn't itself do damage, but it lets you dive harder in a somewhat safer manner. It lets you get more aggressive, that sort of thing. So like you can do it, but obviously you're not going to have a ton of success unless you're getting a fair amount of eliminations yourself. And when you do play it, unless your team is playing a full dive, no one on our team is diveable comp, you're going to play it pretty aggressively. If you're playing a full dive, no one on your team is diveable comp, then you can instead play, hey, we're going to outlast you, we're going to drain you, we're going to outpoke you with our pharmacy. Well, you can't dive on anyone, and we'll just poke you until we win, sort of thing, and that's fine. But assuming it's not that, you're going to have to go hard, go fast, and you're going to have to do a lot of damage. Four more. You have 18 in bibliography. Okay, that makes sense. I want Lucio reviews to know what to do. I think I just told you what to do, right? Do you still have questions? Like, if you're unclear on what I want you to work on, definitely let me know. Or are you just saying you want more people to submit Lucio reviews so you have more Lucio content to watch? Because that I understand. Not afraid of one tricking, just don't know if I have the knowledge to try. I think I gave you what you need to know there. You're going to have to win fast, and you're going to have to be a lot of your own offensive contribution. The other way to play it is you play it with a super baity support line where you go, hey, you try to be the bait yourself. You try to get the opponents to focus on you and Mercy, and they can't hit you because you're playing in Plat and you're Lucio and Mercy, and then your team doesn't need very much sustain because most of the opponent's focus is on you. But how do you get the opponent's focus on you? Well, one way to do that is to be pretty offensive. But some will naturally put it on you, and you should recognize when that's happened, and then you can play very avoidy, very, hey, I'm not going to go so far away that you stop focusing me. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to sort of bait you into coming after me, sort of thing, while my team wins. You can play Lucio in a third of your games. I hear you. Yeah, it's rough. It's definitely rough. The amount of mercy that is there. But you sort of just have to go, hey, I'm just going to dedicate myself to getting better at Lucio. But the other place you can do that is you can do tryhard FFA. No one's going to complain about lots of Lucios and FFA and tryhard FFA. And it's not the same maps to practice his wall riding on, but you can get really good at duels on him. You can get really good at him there. And if you get really good at him there, that playstyle that I'm describing, it's not going to get you very good at Team Lucio, but that playstyle that I'm describing that you sometimes have to do with those Lucio Mercies will be there, and you will have built up your mechanics for using Lucio for higher level games. Oh yeah, no problem then, McDonald. That makes sense. Yeah. I think I answered those questions. Again, you're not really to wall riding time yet. You're still on. I want you working on your mechanics, but I specifically want you working on predictively dragging your shots. I also want you going for. I want you thinking about and going for meaningful boops a lot more so than you are. You will end up using wall riding to get those boops, but I don't need you intentionally going, hey, floor is lava, I'm not going to touch the ground, Lucio. You can just go, I'm using the walls to get places faster, and I'm using the walls to go get off some of my boops right now. You don't need the super complicated wall riding yet. It would be better to continue on this until you get that. Okay, I know how to drag my shots. I'm really hitting these predictive shots. You're never going to hit every shot, but your chokes, like, start with your choke spam. That is the place to get better at it. With I shoot and then I drag in the direction that they're going, and I want to start hearing some dinks where I'm hitting 4 shots when that happens. I'm regularly hitting 3 to 4 shots when I do that. Obviously, you won't do it every time because you spam chokes when no one's there quite a bit, but you should hear people walking into 3 or 4 shots quite a bit in a game. And then I still want you to be on speed during beat. I do. Okay, but that's going to do it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know. If you'd like to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. See what rates, promos, all sorts of stuff like that looks like. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.